All right.
All right, here we go. Facebook Live. My name is Justin Forzano with Cameroon Football Development Program, Cameroon FDP,
I'm Alex Schaffer, unaffiliated.
but connected. And what we want to do today is give a quick preview of the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah, this is the 31st edition of the African Cup of Nations, and we're celebrating the 60th anniversary of the tournament. It's the longest running tournament in Africa, and we just want to give you guys a little background and context to say what's going on in the world of football.
That's right, it's a very big deal. So all across the continent, millions and millions of people are preparing to tune in as the competition kicks off tomorrow. Football is life. As they say, football is like religion. As they say in many, many countries around the world, but I can say I've heard it a lot in Africa in my time in Cameroon there. So we thought this would be a really cool way to connect with those Africans, that are living in the U.S., in the diaspora, and anybody else, any other football fans that might want to, take a look and see what's going on in Africa in the biggest tournament on the continent.
Yeah, and this is something that was sort of cobbled together, much like this live stream. The tournament was originally scheduled to take place in Libya. They had to move the host country due to the ongoing Libyan civil war. And Gabon was actually chosen as the host nation this time around. The last time they co-hosted it with Equatorial Guinea in 2012. And this tournament should definitely be, full of excitement, promise, a lot of young players that are ready to make their debut on the world stage. And ready to kick things off tomorrow afternoon.
That's right. Sort of as you said, with a lot of tournaments, really in any country now, as you see, there's always kind of half the population coming in to support, and really happy to see the competitions coming, the fans coming. But of course, you also have people questioning, especially in the developing world, is this the best use of finances, right?
Yeah, and this is an enormous undertaking for a country like that. They had 2 stadiums constructed by the Chinese Shanghai firm to, be ready for this tournament. And this is the first time that the stadiums in 2 cities are going to be used. And Group C and D are going to be the first teams to break these in. First time they have full crowds, and it should be really exciting and sort of like an undecided thing that's going on in Africa.
I think I even saw one of the stadiums that they were constructing, they didn't finish.
Yeah, and the stadium construction is like actually going on right now today,
Sure.
and that stadium hosts a match on Tuesday.
That's right.
So it's really exciting. They're sort of cobbling everything together, and it's going to be an event. It's going to be something that the world's tuning in for and excited to see, and we're going to see a lot of good football on display.
That's right. So we actually saw some of this in November and into December when Cameroon was hosting the Women's African Cup of Nations. And what you saw was all of the last-minute preparations of, stadiums. Maybe they weren't as completely finalized as you would have maybe expected, but the tournament went on without a hitch,
Yeah.
Everybody had a great time, and it's really a testament to the passion of football that Africans have, that they're able to pull these things off.
Yeah, and it's really going to test like the civil infrastructure of these countries too. Like a city like Oyam only has 60,000 people that live there regularly. They only have 1 hotel with hot water. So it's going to be like a complete change in living conditions for players coming over from the Premier League that are going to be playing in these cities.
That's true. But you got to think, a lot of these guys are coming from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, again, because of the passion for football, they're willing to make the sacrifice, which is pretty cool.
The ball is life.
That's right. All right. So we wanted to give...
Yeah, so just a little bit of like background discussion. The qualifying process for the African Cup of Nations is outrageous. They go from 51 nations all the way down to 15 that qualify, in addition to the 1 host country. And it was a really competitive group stage draw all the way down. We saw some big countries fall. Nigeria is not going to be a part of this tournament. They're 3-time champions. They only finished with 5 points from their group. So it's really competitive to even make the tournament and to get here this far. And, from the 16 teams, we have underdogs. We have, 7-time winners, Egypt. It's really a diverse tournament that's going to, really encompass the whole continent of Africa and a lot of different styles of football and approaches to the game.
That's right. You've got North, South, East, and West.
Yeah.
So pretty much the entire continent's involved.
West Africa is really heavily represented, and, a lot of people expect the champion to come from there, but anything can happen in a game. You never know what's going to go down on any given day, and it could just be one player's hot, takes over a match, and that's the deciding factor.
That's right. We even see it in some of the games we play here in Pittsburgh. You play against a team that's got that all-star.
Yeah.
Scores, beats the defense and scores 3 or 4 goals, and
it could be an unlikely candidate. You never know who it's going to be, and there's a lot of players in this tournament. Some of them, might be the oldest player in tournament history. Might see the youngest player in tournament history here. You never really know what you're gonna see, and this happens every 2 years, unlike the World Cup or the Confederations Cup or anything like that. So the turnover for the squads are really dramatic, even though it's only 24 months between tournaments.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Turnover of players, turnover of coaches.
Big turnover of coaches.
It all.
And then everybody's job is basically on the line in the AFCON Cup. It's really competitive. Everybody wants to win, and nothing's acceptable for some nations except the title.
That's right. Everybody's coming for glory.
Yeah. So a little bit of background about the nation of Gabon. It's a massive country in West Africa that borders the Republic of the Congo and to the west, and Equatorial Guinea and Cameroon to the north. So the 4 host cities that are going to be, hosting people from around Africa and the world are Libreville, the capital. It's on the west coast. It's going to host the Group A and the final. And they were a previous host city in 2015. They have a massive stadium there. They're ready to go. They're excited, and they'll kick things off there tomorrow morning. Do you want to talk about the other host cities?
That's right. We also have Franceville, which lies in the east, in the heart of the jungle, at the end of the rail line. We've got the other 2 cities that are hosting, OEM and Port-Gentil.
Those are both the 2 cities with the brand new stadiums that are sort of untested, and we don't know what we're going to see with them. But it should be a lot of good football. We have Côte d'Ivoire playing up there, and it should be really exciting.
That's right. So we want to get into the group preview then?
Yeah, let's start with Group A.
Okay, Group A. It's got to be my favorite, if you couldn't tell. We've got the host, Gabon. We've got Guinea-Bissau, who's coming in certainly an underdog. I think
probably the biggest underdog in the tournament.
Even though they won their group.
Yeah.
And surprised. I know they came out on top of Zambia, who took the cup not too long ago. And so we've got Gabon, we've got Guinea-Bissau, we've got Burkina Faso, who had a pretty decent performance not too long ago, and then, of course, Cameroon. So
the host nation, Gabon, is actually the lowest FIFA-ranked team in the tournament. They're either 108 or 110, depending on when you take the measure. I don't play too much mind into the FIFA rankings, but they're real underdogs here, but they should still be able to put on a strong showing. They kind of lack a little depth and experience, but their manager Jose Antonio Camacho is an ex-Real Madrid manager. He managed Spain at the 2002 World Cup, so they have some experience there going on, and they probably have the tournament's most exciting player as well.
That's right, and then of course there's always the benefit of being the host country and having the fans at your back. I think the Nations Cup has been won by the host country 11 times.
Yeah.
So that's 1 in 3, right, out of the 31 tournaments.
And that's unlike most tournaments in football. A lot of times there's like a lot of pressure on the host nation. They fall flat. We saw it with Brazil in the last World Cup. There's a lot of pressure for these countries to perform, and you never know what you're going to see on match day.
That's right. That's right. So we've got Gabon. As we said, we've got Burkina Faso, who actually missed the deadline to submit their roster. They've qualified for the last 10 out of the 12 AFCONs. So,
and AFCON hasn't even decided how they're going to punish them or if they're going to punish them. Like, it's completely up in the air at this point, and they play tomorrow. Like, right. Nobody really knows what's going to happen.
It might come after the tournament.
Yeah.
At this point.
And it could be a huge fine. It could be like a match suspension for their manager. It could be an institutional thing where they dock them points in the next qualifying period. We don't really know.
I guess the important thing is that they're there and they're ready to play, right?
Exactly.
They're going to face off against Cameroon in the opening day. We're always optimistic, I think, but it's not really looking good. A lot of our regular players decided to stay with their teams and not come home to represent the indomitable Lions.
And that's a big controversy right now. I don't know if you remember this, but the last World Cup in Brazil, they had a big pay controversy where they needed players were basically protesting to not play on the third match day of the World Cup because they hadn't yet been played. And I don't know if you remember this, but there's a famous image of a player carrying a stack of cash and kissing it on his way out of the airport. And it's sort of somewhat indicative of the state of African football in that the football associations don't always treat their players with the respect that they see from their club teams.
That's right.
And
That's right.
And Cameroon's sort of like a roster in flux, basically, because they don't have superstars like Samuel Eto'o propping them up anymore. And Joel Matip and Maxime Choupo-Moting are two players that are not appearing at this tournament. And it's really going to be up in the air to decide if they can advance from this group, which should be pretty difficult, even though they're one of the favorites in it.
That's true. I think it depends who you ask, too, because I've seen different sides where some people don't expect them to come through, because they've got 14 new guys on the roster this time that have either haven't got capped or that haven't played in the African Cup.
And that's just from the qualifying period, so you never really know. The last tournament was only 2 years ago, so we could see some new heroes emerge for Cameroon.
That's right. That's what we're hoping to see.
Yeah. They're managed by Hugo Broos. He's a Belgian, and he previously managed Greece, Turkey, and Algeria, so he's well-traveled, a lot of experience, but not necessarily the results that a nation like Cameroon wants to see from their top-flight manager.
That's right. I mean, expectations, I think they waver. Some people have almost written off the lines, They were actually celebrating the women's team who made it to the finals in the tournament back in December.
Yeah, and that would be a huge accomplishment if the men were able to repeat that here.
That's right. But I'm even seeing, at this point, they're just looking to get out of the group stage, which is not really that encouraging.
But you see a super competitive group like it is here with Gabon and Burkina Faso. They're no slouches. Gabon has Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's the defending Bundesliga player of the season.
That's right.
African Footballer of the Year in 2015. Burkina Faso has some exciting players. Bertrand Traoré, who is at Ajax right now on loan from Chelsea. These forwards are two of the most technically skilled and dynamic players at their positions, and it really matters how they can carry their form into this tournament. It should be really exciting. And then, other end of the spectrum, Guinea-Bissau,
Alas.
their first time qualifying for the African Cup of Nations. Really exciting story.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I mean, one of the poorest countries in the world, actually, ranked at the bottom of the ranks on the Human Development Index. So, but obviously providing a lot of hope, I think, and a lot of joy to people in the nation as they follow their team.
Absolutely, and they actually have a lot of players that are expats playing in Portugal for various club teams. They're coached by a Portuguese manager, Carde, and it's his second stint as manager. Paulo Torres, their previous manager, is actually currently serving a 4-match suspension for abuse of an official.
That's right.
So he's going to miss this tournament, and basically the job is up for grabs right now in Guinea-Bissau.
Sure. So no doubt they've got nothing to lose, right?
No, they're playing. They're there. They're up for the match. They're ready to go. And honestly, the first match day is going to tell us a lot about what goes down in this tournament. That kicks off tomorrow at 10 a.m. here on the East Coast, 3 p.m. there in Africa. So
that's right. And then we've got Cameroon kicking off at 2 p.m. Cameroon, Burkina Faso. So we look forward to an exciting day of football tomorrow.
It's going to be awesome. I'm
That's
really
right.
excited. And so 2 matches tomorrow. I think the one that's really going to decide the group is the Cameroon-Burkina Faso matchup. If we get a winner out of that match, you can definitely look for that team to go through. But if it's a draw, that really puts them both in prime position to, secure a result against one of those other teams and sort of coast through the group.
Mm-hmm.
Do you expect any upsets to happen here?
Well, I'm looking at Cameroon to get the win, and then probably Gabon too. I think they're going to open the tournament.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to open in your capital city in front of all those fans.
Mm-hmm.
60,000 people are going to be cramming into there, and they're ready to go. This country's ready to celebrate.
That's right.
They've had a crazy year getting ready for this tournament, and it should be really exciting. So, do you want to move on to Group B?
Let's do it, yeah.
Awesome. So, in Group B, we've got Algeria, Senegal, Tunisia, and Zimbabwe. They're playing in Franceville in the heart of the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
It should be really exciting. A lot of good football to be played. Algeria have got to be considered one of the best teams in the tournament.
Sure.
Depth of talent that's really unparalleled here. The Desert Foxes went 5-0-1 in qualifying, unbeaten, and really are looking to carry over that momentum going forward.
That's right. No, I think they're probably picked to win or to finish very high. Certainly to make it out the group, if not win the group.
Yeah, they have Riyad Mahrez. He's African Footballer of the Year.
That's right.
You're probably familiar with him from his work last season with Leicester City. He helped them to a Premier League title. Really exciting set-piece specialist. Excellent passer of the ball. Great technical ability. He's looking to put together assists, set other people up. They also have El Arabi Halal Sudani. He scored 7 goals in qualifying, was one of the scoring leaders. They also have Islam Slimani and Yassine Brahimi. So they have a depth of strikers up front. They have Mahrez in the midfield. They're really good going forward. And they have Raz Mboli in goal, with who you MLS fans are probably familiar with. These guys are going to be exciting. They're going to play beautiful football, and they're going to get after it from the start. They have sweet uniforms. They're going to look good playing too. It's going to be really fun.
That's right. No, I'm sure they're hungry too.
Oh yeah, they're ready to go. This is a team that sort of, is ready to buck the reputation of, being underachievers. They're ready.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready. They're eager to go, and I'm really excited for them. New manager took over in October, so we're ready to see what this team's got. Let's go on to Senegal.
Let's go.
They're the Teranga Lions. They had a 100% perfect record in qualifying, won all their matches. As a result, they're the highest FIFA-ranked team at the tournament, but they have a reputation of struggling. Their best finish ever was in 2002 as runners-up, and they've really never, proven their level at this tournament.
It's hard to get out of the group stage, and if they do, they're quickly knocked off.
Yeah. And most of you probably also know their talisman striker, Sadio Mane, from Liverpool, most expensive African footballer of all time after transferring from Southampton to Liverpool. They also have Kalidou Koulibaly, who was a transfer target for Chelsea. He plays his football in Napoli. He's probably the best defender at the tournament. He's excellent. He's physical. He's got great football instincts, and he's going to be a player to watch in this tournament.
That's right. This group's definitely going to be competitive. Who else? We've got Tunisia and Zimbabwe.
Yeah, the Carthage Eagles from Tunisia. This is their 13th consecutive appearance. I think they're the longest-running consecutive tournament appearances here at the AFCON. Really looking to rebound after a controversial 2015 exit. Huge refereeing controversy that resulted in them going out last time in the quarterfinals. Referee was actually suspended for 6 months by AFCON as a result of this, so they're really looking to bounce back. They have a manager in his second stint with them, and it's his 7th African Cup of Nations personally, making him one of the most experienced managers in the tournament. Fans of La Liga probably recognize Ayman Abdenauer. He is from Valencia. He's a center back. Again, big physical guy, great instincts. He's ready to play. They also have Wabi Khazri from Sunderland in the midfield. So these guys aren't looking to be advancing from the group at this current moment, but all it takes is one result against one of those other 2 teams that we mentioned before. Sure. And they could get through with no problem.
That's right. And then finally, Zimbabwe.
I have in all caps at the bottom of my notes,
I see.
Massive underdogs. We can't underestimate that these guys are first time winning their qualifying group. Kalisto Pasue is their manager. It's his first international tournament. They have the best name in the tournament. Knowledge Masana is their Belgian-based striker, one of the only European-based players in their squad. Again, huge underdogs here.
Sure.
These guys really, they don't have a chance, but they're happy to be there. They're ready to play, and they're going to give these other teams a run out, and you're going to know that you played Zimbabwe.
Yeah, that's right. So who do you see going on? Who's your top 2?
I think this goes chalk. I think that Algeria and Senegal advance. The depth of talent on Algeria is just really, they're one of my tournament favorites, and I think that they're going to get through probably with 9 points.
Okay.
That's my prediction. And then Senegal also gets out with 6.
All right. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, I'm picking the top 2 also. We gotta go with Algeria for sure, and then Senegal behind them. As you said, Zimbabwe's got hardly a chance, and Tunisia's probably not going to be able to put enough together.
But this is going to serve as valuable international experience for these guys. They're going to learn a lot from this appearance.
That's right.
And, they're going to be able to build on this and grow as a country, a footballing nation going forward.
That's right. Yeah, and to play against Algeria would certainly be a great test.
Yeah, it's really going to be a dichotomy between, the elites and the, the newcomers in in the group.
Sure.
All right, so let's advance on to my favorite group, Group C. They're playing up in the north in OEM, and the nation I always support as a result of my love for Didier Drogba, Solomon Kalou, and the other Chelsea greats that came through Cote d'Ivoire. They're the defending champions. They won in 2015 in dramatic fashion. They have Eric Bailly coming down from Man United to represent the country. He's the man to watch at center back. He's exciting. He's dynamic. He makes mistakes too. So it's really going to be interesting to see, considering the wealth of talent going forward for them. They have Wilfried Bony, Solomon Kalou, Wilfried Zaha going forward, but that defense is shaky. You don't know what you're going to see. It's really up in the air.
Sure, but do you think they're looking to maybe dominate the group? Except DR Congo. I mean, DR Congo's made it to the tournament. They're regulars in the tournament. They finished third place in the last, though they haven't been able to lift the cup since the 1970s. There's actually, as you might expect, some unrest in Congo with upcoming supposed elections that were supposed to take part in December. Didn't get to happen, so they actually postponed top-tier football in Congo. So I'm sure a lot of people were sort of questioning, but again, people look to football as almost to the answer.
Yeah.
And they want to see people come together around the football team. So I'm sure DR Congo is playing for more than just the cup.
Absolutely.
More than just the win.
And this might sound like hyperbole, but this could actually be like a dramatically healing moment for a nation if they're able to, reach the semifinals, reach the finals, for the country to come together and unify around a group of players that they grow to like, they see as native sons. We've seen it happen in Cote d'Ivoire in the 2006 World Cup. This is war out. That's not so now we're so it's really interesting to see how the going to be to get three teams managed club.
It looks like
Cote d'Ivoire, Morocco, and Gabon. So he's well-traveled, experienced, knows the tournament, and is really hoping to get out of the group stage for the first time in his career.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's definitely going to be some good competition in Group D.
Their talisman player, Seydou Keita, retired from international football, so that means that they're going to have to rely on Bakary Sissoko to get their goals. He's a talented striker, but this is going to be a tough group to score in. Ghana's got a stout defense. Egypt's got a good defense. And Uganda and Mali are really going to be scraping to get through this.
That's right. But again, you never know. It's the one.
Anything can happen on any match day.
That's right. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So there you have it. There's a preview of the 4 groups, 16 teams that have arrived in Gabon over the last couple of days and are ready to kick off in the tournament tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we look forward to watching. We'll be checking out some games at Piper's Pub if you're in Pittsburgh. Please, follow us. Follow along. Check back in our Facebook page, and we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them where they can find that?
That's right. So it's facebook.com/Cameroon FDP is where or Cameroon FDP on Twitter, on Instagram. It's all there. So Cameroon Football Development Program is an NGO based in Pittsburgh that does work in Cameroon, supported by FIFA Football for Hope. So again, as we talk about football, we talk about the social implications of the game. From the highest level all the way down to the lowest level in the grassroots. People all around the world are using football to change the lives of kids. So that's what we've been doing for the last 6 years in Cameroon. And again, working with about 500 kids in 2 communities in Southwest Region Cameroon. Also connecting and working with Pittsburgh Soccer in the community here. So, we look forward, again, to using this tournament almost as a bridge or as a connection between football supporters here and the real-life passion for the game that you see in Africa.
Yeah, and it's the dead of winter here in Pittsburgh, but, we're still active in the football scene, still playing. But even though our hearts might be chilled by the weather, we're really excited for this. We're warming up for the tournament. It's an exciting time.
That's right.
A lot of good football is going to be played. So after you're done with the Premier League football tomorrow, definitely tune into the AFCON. It's going to be awesome. Opening ceremony should be really exciting.
Mm-hmm. And then, of
Can't
course,
wait.
Yep. So, tune in. Football starts this week. Check out the fixtures online. You can find them pretty much anywhere. Just search 2017 AFCON. But always check back with Cameroon FDP, and we'll keep you posted, too.
Yeah, I'll be doing daily blog post updates, probably sharing some of the nicest goals on the social media accounts for this. And,
That's right.
Stay tuned. We'll come back next week with another live stream to highlight everything that's going on.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Enjoy the tournament.
Later.